Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a modern Domino's pizza restaurant. I designed and made this for my city. I think it'll fit in nicely here. Anyway, let's get started. This is the amount of space required to make your build, and here are all of the materials that we will use making it. Begin by placing 4 cyan terracotta on top of each other. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then extend to the right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend down towards the ground. Then extend to the right by 1. And then back by 2. 1, 2. In the ground, dig to the right by 2. And replace the blocks in the ground using birch planks. On top of those planks, place dark oak doors, and then right of the doors, place a cyan terracotta, which we then want to extend back by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we can extend across the back of the build like this, and the idea is that we want to connect all the way to the very front where we first started. The floor plan is incredibly simple. It should look like this. We have to fill this big empty space on the front in using glass. So this is going to be one row behind the actual frame of the build. We want to dig in the ground, connecting the left and right sides together. Place grey concrete inside of that, then build up glass block on top of the grey concrete, just enough that you fill in all of the empty space that we had. What we then want to do is place a layer of string in front of the top of the glass and extend it an additional row outwards, and then stick red carpet on top. Just like this. You can even extend it an additional row if you like. I'm going to test that just 1 second, but I have a feeling that I will prefer the 1 row, but we can leave it like that for now. So after this, we want to build up 2 more rows of cyan terracotta on top of this long row here. So 1, 2, and we can just extend this left and right, and we can also drop it all the way down on the right side as well, and build up the side of this wall. It's also worth mentioning that on the inside of the build here, we won't actually leave a gap next to this window, so we can just kind of like occupy this space with a little bit of cyan terracotta for now. Above the actual doorway, where we have the double door, we want to place glass block. In front of that, string, and then on top of that, red carpet, just like so. And then we'll build up the rest of the doorway using cyan terracotta. To the right of it as well, we'll just build it up. One last little bit of detail to add, we want to place a 2x2 window using glass block directly behind the door frame, extending towards the back of the build. And then all we have to do from here is literally just build up all of these walls using cyan terracotta, make them as high as the walls that we already have on the front of the build. Just like this. When it comes to decorating the front of the build, we are going to dig out all of the empty space in front of our domino that sits inside of the grid. We then want to replace the right side of the grid with pods on. The entire left side that we are leaving open, we will fill in using smooth stone. This will help us to integrate it into a pavement, sidewalk, or perhaps retail bar. Then we're going to place azure bluette on the pods on, and then place hedging in the form of oak leaves all the way around the outside of the build. At the very least on the right and back sides. You can have it on the left side. I'm actually going to leave that side there, which will leave us with this. We have almost finished all of the outer decoration of the build, but there is one dreaded thing left to make. The sign. So, to make the sign, or signs we are going to throw down a loom, open it up, throw a blue banner in the loom with a white die. We want to place this pattern, the white base texture canton. Then we want to grab that, put that back in, put red dye in there and make the upper half of the banner red. Grab that, put that back in, place a white die in there, and we are looking for the white Chief Sinister canton, basically the opposite diagonal of the original. And that will be our Dominos logo banner. Next, we have a bunch of letters to make, starting with D. So this is going to be a vertical row of white on the right side of a grey banner using white dye. Grab that, put that back in, place a grey die in there, and you're looking for this pattern, the diamond, the grey lozenge. Grab that, put that back in, throw white dye in there, and place a vertical row of white on the left side of the banner, horizontal across the top, and horizontal across the bottom. That is D. Next is O, so that's a vertical row of white on the left, right, horizontal on the top, and the bottom. Nice and simple. We should probably place all of these together. Next is going to be M. A little bit trickier. We want to place the white inverted chevron, put grey dye in there. We then want to place the grey chief indented, put white dye back in there, and then place a vertical row of white on the left and the right. M. Next is I, my personal favourite letter to make vertical row of white straight up the middle. Next is N, vertical row of white on the left, the right diagonal top left corner to bottom right corner. Next would be O again, but we don't need it because we're in creative, so instead S. Horizontal row along the top, the bottom, and then a diagonal row, top left corner to bottom right corner. And then, if we stack these correctly, perfect. So the way that I like it, and you can have this opposite way round, meaning the logo banner on the right side rather than left, but I prefer it on the left. So we're going to place the logo banner just above the window on the left here, and then D-O-M-I-N-O-S. Perfect. Dominos. With all of that complete, we can now head inside and begin work on the interior. The first thing that I want to do inside the build is add the roof. So this is grey concrete placed one row below the actual top of the walls. It will cover from the front of the build all the way to the back. Just like that. Next, we're going to divide the room up by placing a row of light grey concrete below and to the left of the side window on the right side of the build. Place 7 light grey concrete extending from this block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then back 1 and then hit the ceiling, just like this. What we then can do is split this build in two. Everywhere behind the row of light grey concrete that extends up to the ceiling, everywhere inside this area wants to be andesite, and everywhere else wants to be birch planks. Just like that. We want to add a row of red concrete that is parallel to the row of light grey concrete that will make up the counter space. The row of red concrete will extend from one side of the build to the other, and then we want to fill the entire back portion of our dominoes in using red concrete. Like this. At the front of Domino's, we have a little resting bench. This is made using 3 end rods in front of the 3 middle blocks at the base of the window, with light grey carpet stacked on top. Then we also want to hang lanterns from the top of the window on the left and right sides, and if you want to make it nice and even, you can add one in the middle. If you feel inclined, you can place a light grey, or actually a grey glazed terracotta in this corner, and then build up a couple of leaves on top, and that makes a nice feature in here. On this side wall, you can choose to add a couple of paintings. Now, it would actually help us if we had a solid block to place these, so you could go for a 2x1 or a couple of 2x1s, or you can have a... I kind of like that effect, I don't know why. So you can have just a mix match of paintings. I think that that looks pretty cool myself, I don't even know why. Along this counter space here, we are going to have some glass pane starting from the left. We'll place 1, 2, 3, 4 glass pane, extending all the way over to the right side here. Then we want to have a computer on this desk, which can be a great many things, but it will be a heavy weighted pressure plate with a birch trapdoor flipped up in front of it. Next to it, a stone button, and these things can be like, this can be for orders, this could be for payment, this could just simply be a computer. The button can be, again, for payment, it can just be some weird random thing on the counter. A lot of this is open to interpretation, so just in case you're wondering what these things are. We are going to place glow item frames below the red concrete, every other block starting from the right side across the front, just like this. That's perfect. In the back right corner of Dominos, stack a couple of campfires like this. In front, place furnaces. On the right furnace, place glass. And then above this, place andesite stairs and extend it to the left by 1. We then want to place an iron trapdoor on top of the furnace, facing specifically frontways. We can then place light grey concrete extending up left of the furnace all the way up to the ceiling with a lever in front of it, and we can choose to flip this up and down. It's completely up to you which way you have it. So we're then going to extend the light grey concrete backwards to seal off this area, and then place light grey concrete extending across the back of the build like this. I guess it can come all the way to the wall here. And we then want to kind of create an alcove. So to do this, we'll extend this light grey concrete to the left 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we want to extend this up to the ceiling and the row behind it as well, just like this. Then this space here, we can place some sea lanterns just in the back here and a bunch of 1x1 paintings just like this. These kind of look like an order board or something similar. And we can have stacked up here, so we can have like birch trapdoors. They kind of look like pizza boxes, like if you stack them like this. It kind of looks like just a flip down pizza box in my opinion. And we can just have a bunch of item frames kind of like strewn about the place. You can even have like, you can use candles to look like pop bottles, so you know, like for Coke and blue for Pepsi, like red for Coke, blue for Pepsi, stuff like that if you like, and you can have them stacked together. You can even complete the illusion by placing like potions in here as well to look like drinks, and you can have certain orders on the item frames, but item frames also kind of look like pizza boxes all by themselves. And on the left side here, I want to create something, just kind of like something nice and visual, so I'm thinking just stacked up rows of grey terracotta like this. You can even have them stick out a little bit more so that we've only got like a little slipway here into the kitchen. You could even build up the concrete. As a matter of fact, that might be a way to do things actually, is like make it into a feature like this. I think that actually looks pretty cool. And yeah, guys, I guess that we've kind of finished this. Well, that came to a very abrupt ending. I do hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.